Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Okay, nachos rolling. Okay, this bone up here, your frontal bone. And then you have two parietal bones, your left and your right. You have your occipital bones in the back. And you have your temporal bones right here. And on the opposite sides on the same. And then you have sutures on your skull. And your frontal suture, or excuse me, your coronal suture is this one that goes from here all the way around like a rainbow. And then you have your lambdoid suture, which is in the back, following your occipital bone. And you have your sagittal suture, and it separates, comes down this way, separates your parietals into left and right areas. And your squamous suture is right here. And it separates your parietal bones from your temporal bones, so it makes it easier to identify. And then you have the processes. You have this portion of your bone is called your zygomatic arch, and it has two processes. The first process is this suture right here, and it is, or I think it's that one, or either one. It's in this region, it's your zygomatic process of your temporal bone, and you have another suture up here, which connects the zygomatic arch to the frontal bone, and this is your zygomatic process of the temporal bone, and it's on each side. And then you have in your front of your face, you have your nasal bone. Your nasal bones are right here, which are paired. This plate right in here is called your perpendicular plate, and it's broken on this skull, but there's usually like a little bone right here, and it's notified as your vomer. And these are your maxillary bones, these guys. And then you have, in the maxillary bone, you have your, these holes are called your infraorbital foramina in the maxillary bones. And you have the infraorbital fissure, which is the inside of this eye, but I don't think we need to know it. And then you have, what else are we supposed to know?
These down here.
Oh, the two bones down there?
Or the holes in the bones down there?
The holes in the bones in your maxillary bone are considered, this is your mental foramina. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have part of your, this is known as your ramus. So just think ramen, like Yesenia said. It's on both sides. And you have your, inside these bones, there's called a condylar process, and it fits into the mandibular fossa, which is this little, if you touch it, it's soft. Just think spongy. The condylar process fits inside this. So it's the top of your jaw. And then you have your mandibular notch, which is the groove between the condylar and the choroid process. And the choroid process fits into the fossa up here, right here. Or, no, condylar part. The choroid process is if you were to take the jaw and flip it open like this, it's inside here, up in here. And then your mandibular notch is the groove between these two. So there's a groove in between these two, which is like this guy right here. And then your mandibular foramina, like I said, is the inside of the mandible. And if this jaw like came open, well, there's like these little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's holes inside of them. And that's your mandibular foramina. They're like right here.
Should we do inside of skull now?
Yeah, we can do the inside. Okay, so
got a nice view of the inside.
This, from here, all the way on, up here, through these are your ocular cavities, all the way down, is considered your ethmoid. And inside the ethmoid, you have these holes are the ocular cavity holes, and they go all the way through the eye. And then you have, below it, you have, this is considered a fissure, but we don't need to know it, but just so you know. And you have your we call it Ross. So you have your rotundum, your ovale, and your spinosum. This portion of the ethnoid is called your sella tertia. These are considered your greater wings, and the bottom of the ethnoid is considered your lesser wings. And then this from the optical up here to the bottom of the sella tertia is the body of the symphonoid. Sphenoid. And then this right here is called your ethnoid, and you have a cribiform plate, which is this guy that I'm pointing at, and then inside it you have a crystal gallia, which is, it's really hard to see, but it's like the protein that's in there. In a real skull, you'll be like, if this was alive, it'd be in there, and it produces like these little holes called oil factory foramina little holes that are inside. They're like very tiny. And then you have the cribiform plate, which is the base of the ethnoid, which is this guy.
Yeah,
basically.
initially, isn't it? Just right around
Yeah, it's
here.
just right around here. Yeah. And then, like we said, if you flip it inside, it turns into your perpendicular plate right here. And then you have inside that you have your, well, they're missing, but you have a middle nasal concave and an inferior nasal concave. And then you have like we said, the piece vomer is missing. And then,
Isn't there upper, middle, and lower nasal concave?
No, there's superior, inferior, or superior, middle, inferior.
Okay, superior, middle, inferior.
And the superior, but they're like way up there. You wouldn't be able to see it. Okay, so then, what else do we need to know?
The middle ones are the ones that you would see from the hole of the nose.
Yeah.
So these guys right there. You want to pause for a second?
Yeah, we could pause. So now what we need to know.